thousands more will arrive tomorrow. The red and black colours of Down will be a familiar sight in Dublin's watering holes over the next 24 hours or so. Our reporter Brian Carthy has been looking ahead to the type of match the fans can expect to see.
Tomorrow, Dublin face Ulster champions Down, a county that bridged a 23-year gap when they won their 4th All-Ireland title in '91. A win that sparked off a great run by Ulster counties. This year, manager Peter McGrath reshaped the Down team by changing the roles of some of the more experienced players. The Down forward line moved faster than any side Dublin has encountered this year. McCarthy, Blaney and Linden are razor sharp. Likewise, the Down backs will be put to the pen of their collars to curb the threat of Vinnie Murphy, Desi Farrell and Charlie Redmond. The Dublin half-backs on form link brilliantly with the forwards, and when everything falls into place, Dublin looks superb. Everything will have to go right tomorrow. The midfield battle will be crucial. Jack Sheedy is, I believe, back in his best position for Dublin, and Brian Steins has been a revelation this year. The Down pairing of Conor Deegan and Gregory McCarthy will have to be at their brilliant best to win this battle of the giants. Dublin last won the All-Ireland title in 1983, Down just 3 years ago. The Ulster champions will start favourites tomorrow, and only the bravest of the brave will survive.
Again to James McCartan, challenged by Brendan Riley and Kevin Foley, fed inside to Greg Blaney. Mickey Linden has got the opportunity, and Barry Breen has got a goal! Barry Breen has got a goal!
Come back. Quite the Fáilte Gléir and so. We're back again, up for the final. There's the football this time. Now, which is it going to be this time? Dublin?
Yes!
Or down? Yes! It'll be a brave man that'll say now the answer to that, especially after a fortnight ago when what we saw and the whole thing turned upside down in the space of a couple of minutes. Who remembers that? Hope the mentors tomorrow now remember that very well. Anyway, we're here for another night's crack and entertainment. A bit of football talk as well. As I've said before in these programmes, we're not experts on this programme. We don't know everything about who scored what, when and all that stuff. But we love the games, and like the crowds above in Croker tomorrow, we're up for the final to enjoy ourselves. And to start the ball rolling, we had the Artane Senior Band under Joe Lynch. We'll be having them again. Could I ever run one of these programmes without them? Or if it goes to that, could you imagine an All-Ireland without them? So the first bowl of boss of the night, Joe Lynch and the band. I was going to say save that bowl of boss because before I'm filed to Correv, Bert Cahirluch, GA County Board Chairman, Jimmy Cousins from Down, and John Bailey from Dublin. File to Rompa. Jimmy and John. File to Rompa and so. Well, Jimmy, I suppose in a way, will we ever get that cup out of Ulster if it doesn't happen tomorrow? You have a ferocious run of footballers and winners up there, really.
Well, Liam, part of the reason for that, I think, is that over the past number of years, we've been putting in a tremendous amount of work. I would put it down to really hard work. The boys have been, since this year, since January, they have been training tremendously hard. They've been up mountains, over hills, over dales. They've put in a tremendous amount of work. In '92, Donegal did it. In Derry, worked very hard in '93. And we continued that in this year. We beat Derry in a very difficult match at the start.
Yeah, did.
And we have been trying to progress the game with that hard work, both on the field and in the background since.
But Jimmy, if I say to you now that every county does that kind of training, what's different about your crowd?
Well, I personally don't think that every county approaches it exactly the same. Sometimes if a team decide that they really want to make the effort, they put in that extra mile each night, that extra bit all the time, and they both on the field and off the field, they prepare for training and they work hard at it. And I think it takes that bit extra.
Extra bit, yeah.
Yes.
John, we're of course old friends out there in Dunleary and Dalkey and the rest of it. Cola Casements, isn't that right?
That's correct, yeah.
That's right, John. You need an All-Ireland pretty badly in Dublin, is that not true?
I think the association needs Dublin to be successful. This is a very difficult county. It's a very big population, and there's many, many attractions. And tomorrow is an extremely important day, not only for Dublin, but for the association. And the association needs Dublin to do well. We've spent a lot of money on development and coaching. Under the chairmanship of Kevin Heffron and Dawn Hickey, we have employed 12 full-time coaches last year. So it's extremely important for the future development of the game that Dublin does well tomorrow. Dublin, under the managership of Pat O'Neill, Jim Brogan, Bobby Doyle and Fran Ryder, have put in a superhuman effort over the last 4 years. 3 Leinster titles, 2 National Leagues, 2 All-Ireland finals and All-Ireland semi-finals.
Well, it's 11 years since she won one in All-Ireland.
Please God, tomorrow we'll remedy that.
She wouldn't begrudge it to the unfortunate people above the north. All that to put up with.
I don't think Down would begrudge it to Dublin. This is one time that I think they would be grateful for Dublin to win it.
How about, okay. We're not going to settle that one here tonight. Peace talks are breaking out elsewhere, but not here. What I want to say to you, to both of you really, is that this is a costly business getting into an All-Ireland. How about the finances and the sponsorships and all that?
Well, it certainly is, Liam, and we're particularly grateful in Down. All of that hard work that I mentioned earlier does take finance, and we are very grateful to our sponsors, Ulster Bank, who have been working very hard with it this year. They have been most generous. We deeply appreciate their sponsorship. We also have benefited from the national sponsorship, and we're grateful too to Bank of Ireland for that.
How about you, John?
Well, but it wasn't very attractive from Dublin 4 years ago. We're extremely grateful to Ireland and to Bill Kelly for the most generous sponsorship to Dublin, and it's helped us to develop the game more in Dublin.
Yes,
the national sponsors, to the Bank of Ireland for their generosity as well. That's extra money.
We'll be hearing a bit more about that before the night is out. The best here, look, Jimmy Cousins, John Bailey for the present. Stay where you are. All the bottom. The Mountains of Mourne, Stendhal's beautiful novel, Le Rouge et le Noir, The Black and the Red Jersey, each in its way are a star of the County Down. Here are some more stars of the County Down. The Sands family, this time with the Clanrye River Dancers, choreographed beautifully by Paul Pritchard.
Remember that September is never far away. Rising up early in the morning, sandwiches all ready from the night before. For now the final hour is dawning, and the cheering like thunder rolled. The flags they flew on every pole, and we sang and danced the whole way home on the day we won the All-Ireland. The Dublin women crying, hats and colours for the game. Hill 16 is going crazy. The Ardpin boys are playing, we're ready for the fray. And now the final hour is dawning, and the cheering like thunder rolled. The flags they flew on every pole, and we sang and danced the whole way home on the day we won the All-Ireland. The best of men will curse, and the worst of men will pray. The referee is blind, the cannon's chanting. Soon he will be canonized, he's calling for the ball. I can't believe my eyes, we are the champions. And the cheering like thunder rolled. The flags they flew on every pole, and we sang and danced the whole way home on the day we won the All-Ireland. The years keep rolling onwards, and new ones come along. But these are the days we will remember. The game had passed so quickly, but the memories linger on. And somehow it has changed us all forever. And the cheering like thunder rolled. The flags they flew on every pole, and we sang and danced the whole way home on the day we won the All-Ireland.
Delightful. I see at the hauling who's going to give us the next river dance. I think they're going to do it. Let's have a look back now at a few of the sweeter moments in Down football in the past. This now is from the 1960 All-Ireland final with Kevin Musson and Paddy Doherty in action.
Park Dublin on 26th September 1960. A record attendance of nearly 88,000 people waited to see if a team from Northern Ireland could bring the All-Ireland Senior Football Championship across the border for the first time. While Kevin Musson leads Mackay, Doherty, Lavery, Lennon, O'Neill, O'Hagan, Dan McCartan, Carey and Morgan. Carey gets possession at midfield. Tears down the touchline. Kicks in. Jim McCartan sends to Sean O'Neill. Sean crosses it into the square. Paddy Doherty's there, but he's pulled down. It's a penalty. Paddy Doherty takes the kick. It's another goal. Down are 2 goals in front. Down had changed the seemingly unalterable course of history and humbled the greatest football county of them all in the process. Kevin Musson has become the first man from across the border to receive the Sam Maguire Cup and to be congratulated by Uachtaráin na hÉireann.
It was the biggest moment in your life, Kevin, was it? So far. I said it must be. Oh, I'd better coming, is there? It must be the hell of a business, though, really going up there to take the cup at the end of a match like that. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing tomorrow.
That was. That was 61, wasn't it, Kevin? 61.
60.
60, and Paddy was the following year.
Paddy
then.
was 61.
Paddy was 61. Paddy's here tonight. Paddy Doherty's there tonight. He's sick of Paddy's well. Send him on nothing good wishes then. But what about it, though, Kevin? Like, I mean, you were captain now. Paddy was captain in the other year. But what is it a tougher scene now, like, do you think, than it was in your time?
I'm beginning to think we were amateurs compared to the present setup.
Yeah, yeah.
They worked very, very hard. I think their commitment's bigger than ours,
Yeah.
really.
All the skills.
But we were as fit as any team in 60. I
And
think
was it what Jim-
that's all you can ask of a team.
Was it what Jimmy was saying back there about, you know, that you train as hard as the lads nowadays in difficult situations?
Yes, we trained as hard as we knew.
Yeah.
But
But
they-
there are new skills come into the game,
yeah,
Kevin, though.
the game is different, very, very different now. That hand pass, the speed,
It has speeded up.
speeded up, yes.
Have the lads learned things from, there's a question I ask myself sometimes, positional play, like, have they learned anything from looking at the box and themselves, for example, and looking, for example, at some of the soccer stuff?
They're a very clever bunch. They learn all the time.
Yeah, on both sides, you
On
would say.
both sides, oh,
Yeah, you're
yes.
about to be fair-minded, do you not?
Oh, yes. I'm very fair.
Yeah, very fair, provided down wins. That's what you are. Yes. Come on, we'll stop this old talk now. I was going to call it something else there a minute ago. Let's have another piece of the action. This one now is from the 68 and the 91 All-Ireland finals with the captains of both teams in action, Joe Lennon in 68 and Paddy O'Rourke on the ball in 91. Here we go.
Down towards Dennis O'Sullivan. Dennis can't quite reach high enough, and it's Sean O'Neill with the ball now. Intended pass over to the far wing. It goes to Peter Rooney. Peter takes a shot, and it is another point. Another point for Down.
I'm very honoured to have been the captain of such a fine team. And
Cornel Conway, one of the patrons of the Gaelic Athletic Association, presenting the Sam Maguire Cup to the Down captain, Joe Lennon.
It's with Mickey Linden. Linden yet to score in this game. Now's his chance. He's put it over. It's a wonderful moment for Paddy O'Rourke for Down, accepting the Sam Maguire Cup. Down have won the championship.
68, Joe, wasn't it?
That's right, Liam.
You were captain that year, weren't
That's
you?
right, yes.
Who was around you now? Give us some of the names. Throw some of the names at us.
Oh, well, we still had Paddy and Sean from the
60
the
team.
The 60s team.
60, yeah.
Oh, and then Danny Kelly, a great character in the goals.
Yeah.
John Purdy up front, John Murphy.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of very, very fine players.
Yeah. Was Sean gone by then, Sean and Kevin?
Kevin was gone, Sean was still there.
Sean was still there, yeah.
Yes.
What about that, though, Joe? I want to ask you that question. What do you say to each other at half-time? How did you change over at half-time then? Are we winning or losing at half-time?
We were, I think we were winning at half-time and winning fairly comfortably, but at that half-time I had to make a decision whether or not to come off because I'd been injured, and I decided to come off. Anyhow, the half-time was handled by the manager, Jerry Brown, very well, and he sent the boys out very well prepared for the next half, and they played extremely well.
What's that? Pep talking, is it?
Yes, I don't think you have to wind them up too much because the boys were highly motivated. It's just a question of directing their thoughts into perhaps more productive areas of play.
Yes.
What about the great centre field man in '68?
There you are now.
He was born in Doon Laoire. His father was a bank manager at the Ulster Bank.
Who was that? Come on, Joe.
Charles Carey.
Charles? Oh. Come on, Joe, look, man, up with that.
No, in 68.
68.
McAlarney.
Colin McAlarney was born in Doon Laoire. Dublin man won it for you.
Well, I could come back with that.
What about Joe Lennon?
If the down man, Snitchy Ferguson, won it for Dublin a few years later.
Keep the peace. Let you keep the peace, Billy. We're all looking at us tonight. We have to give good example, do we not, in the current situation? That tiger of a boy that was going through there to score, there's his mother sitting in front of him. Isabel, isn't it? Linden. Yes. That's right. Fall to rotten. So Isabel Linden. One of us were there. Were you, John O'Keefe's mother said that to me below in Kerry one time. I said, who trained him? Who trained the boys? She said, I did.
She trained too. She had a lot to do with it.
Did you have anything to do with it?
Well, I had to drive them here and there at times.
Yeah, and wash all the gear.
Wash the gear, and when you have 5 sons playing, there's a lot of gear to be washed.
5 boys, is it?
Yes.
God, one more, and you'd have had the whole
Had a whole bunch.
But it must be great gas, though.
Oh, it is great gas, yes. Only for it, our life would be very dull.
Yeah, I mean, when you went back up the line, I remember the passage back up to down that time, the last 91, wasn't it?
Yes.
Glory be to God, it was enormous.
Oh, it went on for a week.
It went on for a week?
Yes, it did.
So it took you a week to get up
and it's going to go on
down.
for a week this time, too.
Oh!
We came up to take Sam home.
But you're back to where it belonged, is it?
Oh, yes.
Is it? Yeah. I don't think you're ever going to let that cup out of Ulster.
No,
whether it's down, will do it or well, unless it's done tomorrow.
Oh, it'll not be done tomorrow. It's coming home tomorrow again.
Céim fíor dítan son, the Nudusta Mna Ushla, across the Tir Shella Father Sheila Niconoltic, who has written a great history of Down GAA. Oh, Sheila Gabla, Sheila Nachation and Tedlatai.
From seed to flower.
From seed to flowers, right. It's a great tome, Sheila. I've read not everything in it now. I didn't follow everything. It was a great book.
If there's blood, sweat and tears coming out of the bottom, it's mine.
Yeah, because Sheila was one of the great people and is one of the great people behind the Camogie in Ireland. Isn't that so, Sheila?
Well, past president, past star, really.
Everything,
virtually.
Some little bird whispered in my ear that you were the oldest Queen's University female graduate.
Oh, some of these. If I had that little bird, I'm not bloodthirsty, but he wouldn't never be an old bird, I can tell you that.
And Akilatan's son, Jimmy Smith from County Down, but of course we remember him the day of Antrim, of Armagh against Dublin. I've said to you once before, Jimmy, never saw colour like it. And what was the year, Jimmy?
77.
77. The colour on the railway end, the saffron there was absolutely brilliant. But you didn't live up to it then, like?
No, we had a lot to live up to. We met a Dublin team then, which history will show was a great team. Their 4 birds tomorrow perhaps mightn't just have the same luck as they had in 77.
Yeah. So he's a down man at heart, Jimmy Smith. Jimmy's a commentator with the BBC, isn't that?
That's right.
Commentating tomorrow?
Yeah, it's our last year, and the past 3 have been 3 in a row, so we'll go out to the bank tomorrow.
Well, you know, BBC Jimmy Smith had better keep your impartial front row tomorrow. And don't be saying like some of the others say, hey, right, he's dropped the ball. Don't be doing that stuff. Okay, Jimmy Smith, what about stuff? So far, so good tonight. Well, the Dublin are downwind tomorrow. They'll all sing their way through tonight. And you're going to have a go, all of you are going to have a go with them. Here's your best chance now. The Dublin Busmen's Choir, conducted by Vincent Whelan, with Geraldine McCann on the piano, with the star of the County Down and the cockles and mussels of Dublin's fair city. There you are.
Down in the County Down one morning last July, down the boy with the nut brown hair. He smiled at me and was right, said he, like the gem of Ireland's crown. Young Rosie McCann from the banks of the Bann, she's the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay and from Galway to Dublin town. No maid I've seen like the fair Pauline that I met in the county down. Surely there, so I dress in my Sunday clothes, with my shoes shone bright and my hat cocked right, for a smile from the nut brown rose. No pipe I'd smoke, no horse I yoke, for my plough in rust turned brown. Till the smiling bride by my own fireside sits the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay and from Galway to Dublin town. No maid I've seen like the fair Colleen that I met in the county down. In Dublin's fair city, where the girls are so pretty, I first set my eyes on sweet Molly Malone. As she wheeled her wheelbarrow through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. Alive, alive, oh. Alive, alive, oh. Crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. She was a fishmonger, and sure 'twas no wonder, for so were our father and mother before. And they both wheeled their barrow through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. Alive, alive, oh. Alive, alive, oh. Crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. She died of a fever, and no one could save her, and that was the end of sweet Molly Malone. Now her ghost wheeled her barrow through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. Alive, alive, oh. Alive, alive, oh. Crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. Alive, alive, oh. Alive, alive, oh. Crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh.
Fáilte roimh reis a chuoine uisléige glór. Díreach sul nóid an céad chuidéile. I'd like a few people to say hello to in the audience. No more than just hello to them. Please stand up, will he please? PJOD over from Chicago. The man from Clare, one of the great footballers. And his wife. And his lovely wife, great people. In the GA world of Chicago out there, that's one of the great people, great couples, so it is. And there beside him is a man called, stand up, Sean, let me see you, Sean Sinnott, who was, what was it, Sean? In Croke Park on Bloody Sunday, 1920. That's the ticket, that's the ticket. And there is Sean Kinsella, who once filled the Sam Maguire with champagne for the winning Dublin football team. Is that right, Yes. Now we're back up for the final, on this night before the Canish Pella Ibarca Croquig a Moira. A few announcements quickly now. Just to say this, the St. Francis Hospice of the Daughters of Charity of St. Vincent de Paul are having a fundraising walk to Croke Park tomorrow with some of the Dublin ex-players as Kevin Heffernan, Hefo and Jimmy Keaveney included. It starts at 11 o'clock from Kilbarrack Shopping Centre and 12 o'clock in the Donnycarney Church. And on the cover of the programme for the match tomorrow is a lovely reproduction of a painting by Paul Downey, and it's called Reaching for the Stars. It's from an exhibition of paintings by him running in the Frank Lewis Gallery in Killarney at the moment, where Paul is a detective, Garda detective sergeant. Dublin gets a look in now, and who better to start with than the Dubliners?
It was down by Annaleffe, my love had died its strain, where in the good old slushy mud the seagulls sport and played. We got the whiff of ray and chips, and Mary softly sighed. Oh, come on, old son, for a 1 and 1 down by Annaleffe side.
As I rode out through Dublin City at the hour of 12 at night, who was it to see but the Spanish lady washing her feet by candlelight? First she washed them, then she dried them over a fire of embry coal. In all my life I ne'er did see a maid so sweet about the soul. Well, the doer-a-lure-a-laddie, whack, well, the doer-a-lure-a-lay, whack, well, the doer-a-lure-a-laddie, whack, well, the doer-a-lure-a-lay.
As the light declines, I remember Dublin City in the rare old time. Very well, sweet Annaleffe, I can no longer stay and watch the new glass cages that spring up along the quay. My mind too full of memories, too old to hear new chimes. I'm a part of what was Dublin in the rare old time. Ring-a-ring-a-rosy, as the light declines, I remember Dublin City in the rare old time. Ring-a-ring-a-rosy, as the light declines, I remember Dublin City in the rare old time.
Barney for my life on you, Barney. August the Bochini. Dublin in the rare old times, down by Annaleffe, as I roved out through Dublin City with the Spanish lady. How more Dublin can you get? And for good measure, sandwiched in between them, did you hear there the Marino Waltz, written by John Sheehan? And he's from Marino, which is beside Parnell Park, which is where the Dublin teams do their training. They're all tied up together, so they are. Let's have a look at them, away back in the semi-final and in the All-Ireland final of 1983, with Barney Rock and Kieran Duff in action. Remember it well.
We're in the dying minute of the game now. Kieran Duff, Brian Mullins, out to the wing. And this is Ray Hazley, across in front of the goal. Oh, what a finish. The game is over. The game is over. Brian right-footed up now to Tommy Conroy, who is pushed in the back, and there is a free for Dublin. Kieran Duff, the wind, in fact, blowing the ball off the mark on which he placed it, and now he places it again. And it's over the bar, a point scored by Kieran Duff.
What I'm tempted to say to you, Kieran Duff, seeing that goal going in, I saw it on the day, I remember being there, is, boy, we hate you. The brilliant goal, really it was. That was the semi-final, wasn't it? The drawn game.
That was the drawn game.
And then you came down to Páirc Uí Chaoimh and gave us a lesson in football.
Yeah, you just pulled the fast one getting us down there.
Well, that was going to be, I'll never forget that day, you know. That was going to be fierce aggro. And the police would have to keep the crowds apart. And sure, of course, there was nothing happened. Everything was lovely, sweetness and light everywhere. And that night we were in a company together, and Dublin lads were all around us, you see, and we'd been beaten and so on. But the barman called me over at one stage and whispered in my ear, "Come here, Liam," he said, "aren't Dublin people very nice?"
Why?
Barney, that's Barney Rock, one of the great footballers, Barney Rock. Barney Rock. Oh, Barney. Great memories, of course, Barney, for you, of course, only a kid.
Oh, definitely, yeah. The memories are always good. You know, I think '83 was the biggest memory we've ever had.
Yeah.
We went along with some great matches, like the drawn match in Croke Park and then down to Cork.
Yeah.
I think the atmosphere in Cork that weekend was the best. We'll never forget it. I don't think so. And Dully had a great game that day. And, you know, the All-Ireland, you know, we won it, you know, and what more can be said? And
it's 11 years though, Barney, since you won it now.
It's 11 years, but we were in two finals after that in '84 and '85.
But you see, the losers don't get any credit.
Definitely not.
As you know well, you know. Bhailm fáilte, gur míle maigad Barney and Kieran. Bhailm díreach fáilte a chur with ordmhéir a baile clia. John, is it Garland?
John Gormley.
John Gormley. And the Cathaoirleach of the chairman of South Dublin, John Hanlon. All right, we're going to have a look at another piece of action. And just this one now is to jog your memories a little bit. It's from the 1958 All-Ireland with Lar and Des Foley and Paddy, as we all know him, Jock Haughey in flying form. Let's have a look at this.
After a false start due to Kevin Heffernan's enthusiasm, Simon Dignan got the game going and the battle was on for Ireland's greatest prize. Murray to John Timmins. Timmins upfield. Out to Paddy Haughey. A fast sprint by Paddy Haughey down the far wing and across to Kevin Heffernan. Heffernan turns and shoots and Dublin are 2 points ahead. Colm Mulholland takes a free, which is cleared out by Larfo. Dublin certainly had the edge in attack in the first half, but they also had a strong wind in their favour, and we wondered if their interval lead of 4 points would be sufficient. Then comes the final blow. The centre comes to Johnny Joyce, and he coolly crashes home Dublin's second goal, and to make quite certain of it, Paddy Farnan adds it a finishing touch. But here they come. The Dublin supporters who have seen the Sam Maguire Cup elude their team for 16 years can be justly proud of this great sign.
'58, Jock. 58, wasn't it? You were, what were you, who's the other half? You were half forward. You're only a Gosson, yeah. And who's the other half forward with you? You were on the right, weren't you?
I was on the right. Ollie was centre forward, Laura Mercer, and Des Ferguson was left half forward.
That's right, yeah. You have great memories of it, Jock.
And
a down man. Oh, Joe Lennon, is that over?
Well, you know, you Down people. My mother and father were from Derry. So I mean, let's get it.
Oh,
right
we know that. We know that from your illustrious brother. He said it often enough. So, but it was great. We have great memories of it, though, Jock, haven't you?
Yeah, marvellous memories. I remember the night before the game, Maha, Lorna Mercer now, she says, "I don't think you should stay at home in the house tonight because all my cousins and aunts and uncles." And I says, "Well, where'll I go, Ma?" She says, "Go over to your brother, Cahill." So Kieran Haughey was only born at the
Charlie
time.
now, in other people's mouths. Cahill, yeah. Okay.
Well, it was Cahill to my mother.
Tassigum, Tigamission.
And Cartagut. So Kieran didn't sleep too well that night. So Martin got up the next morning and asked me, how did you sleep last night, Jock? I says, perfectly. I had a great sleep. I never slept a wink, but anyway, Kieran kept me awake all night.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter. When you're in an All-Ireland final,
you're out there playing with your life for that.
Exactly.
Mark Wilson is up there somewhere, is he not? Where's Mark? There's Mark up there. Mark up there. That was 50. You're in 58 also, Mark, weren't you? Yeah. Great memories of it.
Oh, fantastic.
Fantastic memories. Mark Wilson, one of the great footballers. And there's the ball. That's Paddy O'Connor, isn't it, Paddy?
That's right.
Paddy O'Connor,
1942.
42.
That's the ball we played with. It was, the unique thing about it was there was 5 players from Saggart Village playing in that team, which was a third of the team from a village. All within a stone's throw on it.
That's marvellous. You were full forward that day?
That's right, yeah.
42.
And Peter O'Reilly, Lord of Merson, was trainer. He was the trainer.
I got it. Just imagine.
I'm saying.
Tá Bannon soch an tosig agam Maira ní Hooker will do. I mean, Maya Mulville, Liam Mulville's wife, the chief executive of the GAA. Have you any, I suppose the biggest, dirtiest word in your life has got to be the word tickets, is that right? Every does it. By the way, a phrase we have learned elsewhere, have we not? There's a ticket for everyone in the audience. I knew it. One more.
There's a ticket for everyone in the audience. I'm not providing it.
It must be an awful time for you, though. The phone ringing and everything.
Phone ringing, door going and whatever, but it's
Yeah.
only twice in the year, so it's over now. Hopefully tomorrow, as long as there isn't a draw.
Yeah, and of course the nightmare, I believe Liam told me one time that the nightmare in his life is that thing, a draw.
That's
There's a
right.
draw, he has to do it all
Yes,
again. It
yes.
must be desperate, you
Well,
know.
he works from 7 in the morning, as do members of the county board in Dublin and in the county board in Down. Work long hours trying
Yeah.
to get rid of all those tickets, you know.
They got to be a fierce rush to get rid of them tonight. I tell you. A few people around here would kill for them tonight. Who's that beautiful woman up there that I see? Stand up, we have a look at you.
Rhonda Tubbs.
Any of the other girls? There's a man, there's a man there, Senan Finucane, who has been in Croke Park every year, every football for 50
years. Tomorrow's 51.
51 years. As I said to you...
I'm not counting the hurling finals.
I know, yes. Yeah. Everybody táine gachaine winter hahi and te beden nach will ahnako Vognovor and Tahar Owen Hahi, another of the Hahi brothers. Okay. I'm Donald Hickey from the County Board. We can't get everybody in, God help us. We're not enough time for these great shows. Coming up now is a piece of solo action. That's, believe me, as electrifying as Mickey Linden or Charlie Redmond flying for the goal tomorrow. The Artane Boys Band and Dara Oglesby on the xylophone. Have a look at this.
that milk's for babies, so charming, disarming, whatever they...
Walter Ash Egan show. But now, before we go on with this show, I'd like to introduce one other person who's here tonight, and that's Mick, Dr. Mick Loftus. Tá fáilte rot, Mick. Mick Loftus, former president. Former president, Mick.
That's right.
Footballer.
Footballer, yeah.
And referee of?
Had the privilege of refereeing the down when they won in '68, down in Kerry.
Remember this story? Joe Lennon is going to be terrified of this story.
Yeah.
No, we won't tell it at all, okay? No, we won't tell it. No. Joe Lennon was the illustrious captain of a great team.
That's right.
Isn't that right?
I came along tonight and I thought I might have to referee between Dublin and
Yeah,
Down.
you would know. Anyway, Mick, you're welcome here
Thank you
tonight.
very much.
Former president,
Yeah.
great player. Okay. Just a little brief word now before we go on. Is to send our love and good wishes to a few of the great men of the GAA who can't be with us tonight. Sean O'Neill is recovering from an illness. We send our love and good wishes to Sean. Paddy Downey of the Irish Times is retiring after tomorrow's game. And we send our love and good wishes to Gareth Howard, who won All-Ireland medals with both Limerick and Dublin in the 20s and 30s. And I met him in Croke Park with his daughter Liz there recently, still going very strong. The All-Ireland Golf Classic in aid of Cura and arranged by Babs Keating of Tipperary fame, held out in Oliver Barry's golf course there in Hollystown. Results of these, Dublin were the winners, Tipperary were the second, and listen to this for ecumenical talk, the IRFU were third. And finally, we'd like to send our congratulations to the new Bishop of Dublin, Fiachra O'Callig, a Franciscan and Clareman who was consecrated in Westland Road Church today, and he's saying his first Mass as Bishop around about now, out in Cultus Culturi Éireann and the Culture and Munster. We'll come back to that in a moment. Just now, to welcome two people who have come onto the panel, Liam Mulvihill, Chief Executive of the GAA, and Paddy McConnell, who is Chairman of the All-Stars Committee. Welcome. Well, Liam, the chola to the van or on son could be an focal is massive kid on focal ticket. I suppose you have the same report.
Well, yes, but I must say to some extent the tune that I would normally play about dreading a draw and a replay slightly different this year. We need the money, Liam, because of the work that we're doing. So
you're doing great work.
I wouldn't mind having a draw this year.
Yeah, but there's no doubt about it. It's a stupendous stand. Have you all seen it? Isn't it a marvellous piece of work? It really is, Liam. You're delighted with it.
Well, we've a long way to go, but we've got off to a good start, and we've got marvellous support, and I must say a great reaction from the general public. So we just hope we'll see the end of it all in about 10 years' time.
It'd be good now if for the politics of Ireland, if a Northern Ireland team won that tomorrow, would it not, Liam? But it's all right, take it easy. It'd be better if a Dublin won it.
He's not going to catch me in that.
Oh, he was good to trap him, you see.
I always have to be neutral as far as the winners are concerned. My major interest is that we have an outstanding game.
That's right, here. All right. Padder is chairman of the All-Stars Committee, isn't that it, Padder?
Yes,
that's a tough old job you took on. The Bank of Ireland.
All-Stars.
And this is the first year that the All-Ireland has been sponsored. And this is done by the Bank of Ireland. Why did you do it, Padder?
Well, it's something, first of all, it was the first of anything we wanted to be first.
Yeah.
And that we wanted to be. I know, I think over the other years, it all arose really, I suppose, from the All-Stars. We're 12 years, Liam, involved in the All-Stars. And during those years, we've developed a tremendous respect for the GAA and relationship with everybody associated with it over the years, all of the players, Barney, Kieran, lots of other guys that we've met, the officials of the association, and even the journalists, so many of them we got to know very well. So tremendous respect and relationship in that sense, and I hope they respect us as well. So that would be the basis of it. I suppose we realised too that we shared many of the values culturally for the games, for our people. We have a common customer base, you might say.
Sure.
The GAA, the biggest sporting organisation, we're the biggest bank. A lot of our customers are rabid GAA supporters right across the country. And I suppose from a commercial point of view, I suppose GAA is a very dynamic, growing organisation, and obviously with a lot of vision. You just mentioned the stand there. You've only to sit there and so proud to be associated with it. And I think the bank wants to be associated with something like that.
Padder McConnell, I always think really that the All-Stars is a wonderful, especially Padder, I always think that the All-Stars is a wonderful award to give to particularly to players from counties who don't win All-Irelands. Some of them, I mean, for example, what about the wonderful performance of Leitrim this year? Not that I'm plugging a Leitrim player for football for an award. Wouldn't want to change your mind or anything like that. Now, we mentioned there a moment ago that Bishop Fiachra O'Callagh is out in the Comhaltas in Monkstown. That brings me along to the next item on our agenda here tonight, because I'd like to give you Volbas Murnish Rinoshler, das na Rinkori agus na Kiltori o Brew Baru, Heason Sean Comhaltas Brew Baru. the Brew Boru Dancers and Musicians. Brew Boru is the hostel, the hosting house of Brian Boru, and it's away down there in Cashel. Marvellous place, so it is. Liam Mulville, what about tomorrow? Any problems at all, Liam?
Well, the major problem that we have anticipated for tomorrow, as the general public are well aware, is the question of Ford's tickets being on the market. And I think we have given good warnings to everyone to really be very careful with regard to purchasing tickets at the last minute tomorrow. We are aware that quite a number of tickets are on the market which are forgeries, and the print is different than the normal. The seat number or the serial number for the terrace tickets is very obviously printed in. It's not the normal style of print at all. They will be easily recognised outside the turnstile